Before I begin this video, I first really want to acknowledge all of you guys and also honor all of your struggles, whatever you're going through. I know sometimes life can be really tough, and sometimes you just need someone to hear it from someone that it's okay. So I just want to give you that strength and that solitude from the deepest core of my heart. And also, I really want to acknowledge you for being here, for for actually taking some time out for improving yourself, because only top 3% of the people actually start working on themselves. So first of all, I really want to thank all of you and also acknowledge whatever struggles you're going through. And I know that will also pass. And it's my deepest wish and blessing that these things, all of these struggles actually give you a good fruition. So today we're going to be discussing about how to reprogram your mind for unlimited success. As Sadhguru always says, that your body and your mind are the greatest tools that can ever be created, or these are the most sophisticated tools. But if we haven't read the user manual for how our mind works and how our body works, it's very difficult for us to operate them at the maximum efficiency. So in this video, we're going to be just discussing some basic aspects. First of all, I want to tell you this is a very, very, very huge topic, and this involves a lot of theoretical as well as practical stuff. As I have been a student of these things, I love to hear about these things, and it's a very, very huge concept. So today is just going to be trying to touch on some of the very basic and the most important concepts that you need to understand so that you can start reprogramming your mind. Okay, so with that said, let's first begin by understanding how does our mind work. Okay, so first of all, I want you to answer this question. Okay, before we move ahead, I really would like to answer you this question. What is more important to you, love and happiness or money? Before moving ahead, just pause and answer this question. What is most important, love and happiness or money? I hope you have given the answer because that's important. So I know 99% of the people would have either answered love and happiness is more important, or happiness or money is more important. But very few of the people would have actually answered both of them are very important. And that is what today I want to talk to you about. We all have some unconscious set points in our mind where we operate from. Like whenever we go for a job interview or sort of thing, we have a number in the back of the mind where we estimate ourselves that we are at. Or while we're selling a company or doing anything, we have some set points that have been set unconsciously in our mind, which tells us how do we see ourselves, where do we see ourselves. And that is very important to understand, that how do these set points are formed. It is said that before the age of 7, we have already set up these unconscious set points due to these 4 environments: the social environment, the economical environment, the academic environment, and the religious environment that we are in. And we always have a set point for all the other things in life by the age of 7. And if you have to practically actually change this, you need to be changing the people that you sit around with. And because that is what will change your unconscious set points. So this is basically, I just wanted to give you the gist how the mind works. Now let's begin and go to some practical aspects of what are the layers of the mind and how does the communication between the mind takes place and what we can do as a solution for it. Okay, so there are 3 layers of the mind. First layer of the mind is called as a reptilian brain, the brain which is 7.5 million years old. So that reptilian brain has just 2 actions: either to be in fight mode or to be in flight mode. That is, if it will see a tiger, it will either run away from it or it will, go and fight with it if it can survive. So that is the only 2 action a reptilian brain is can do. It can either fight or it can either flight. And the primary function of the reptilian brain is to keep you safe and comfortable. So that is what is our reptilian brain is doing. Then the second brain is called the mammalian brain. That is 2.5 million year old brain. So what does this mammalian brain do? It is basically called as our emotional brain. So it releases the chemicals or hormones which lead us to feel all our emotions. Whether you are feeling happy, whether you're feeling sad, whether you're feeling motivated, or whether you're feeling, whether you're in the mode of taking action, or whether you're feeling anxiety. It's all because of that emotional brain and the hormones that are being secreted in your body. So now the question comes, how do these hormones are released in our body, and why does these things occur? Why do these things happen? So actually, to be explaining you in detail, it would take one more video of how our reticular activation system works and how do these experiences work. So I won't be going a lot more detail into that, but I would still give you a basic idea based on our past experiences, what we have felt. Our brain responds to it. Our brain is a very, very smart tool, and it analyzes what are the past experiences of for us, and depending upon the situation, it releases either two sets of hormones, either the stress hormones or the happy hormones. The stress hormones are basically your adrenaline and your cortisol, and your happy hormones are basically which we call as DOSE, DOSE. It's dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So depending upon the situation and depending upon what are the past experiences that you have gone through, our mind will release either the stress hormones or the happy hormones. So when these hormones are released, there are only two modes for our mind then to left how to react to it. When stress hormones are more than your happy hormones, what will happen is you will be in fight or flight mode. You would either want to go to a problem and just solve that problem, or you just want to do something and move away from the problem. And that won't be a very good solution, even though you're trying to fight, but you won't be able to get the best solution. And when happy hormones are more than your stress hormones, you'll be actually be able to have a balanced decision. You'll be in the action mode to achieve your goals. And that is why when we lack these happy hormones, we feel a lot of tension and a lot of things don't go our way. So it is very important to understand how do these things work and how does our brain secrete these hormones. So if in the next video, actually here I can see anxiety. So in the next video, we're going to be covering actually about how do you deal with anxiety. For some people, and in fact, it can be for anyone, a lot of people face a deep anxiety issue. It's very deeply rooted. And it's not like it's a once thing that you overcome anxiety from once. It's a continuous process. You need to actually lower its intensity time by time by time by time, and then it will actually, you'll be actually able to understand how to control this. It's not a very simple thing to do it. And I'm telling you this, all of these things which I'm telling you, these are good to hear, but are very difficult to change because your mind has been programmed. It has been running this for whatever your age is, whether you're 20, 25, 35, your brain has been running this pattern for so long. And breaking these patterns is going to take some time. You need to be okay with that. And what happens is when you keep reacting, your stress experiences continues to increase and your body starts demanding these high hormones. These cortisol and adrenaline are very addictive to our body because they produce sugar, and this is very addictive for our body. And that's why you might have also observed that whenever you're stress free, your body starts demanding कि यार कुछ तो tension चाहिए ना, मतलब कुछ तो stress चाहिए. Then you start doing again those things which would generate stress in your body. And that is why they are very addictive hormones. Now let's come to the third part of the brain. That is the neocortex. That is the newest part of our brain. It's just 10,000 years old. It's also called as the CEO of your brain. So, all the goal setting that you do, all the conscious decisions that you do are done through this neocortex. And the other two parts just help in achieving that goal. So that is how the mind works. And now let me take you actually how does the decision making process works in the brain. So for that, just let's take an example just to explain you this. Let's assume that reptilian brain as the father, the mammalian brain as the mother, and the neocortex as the child. So what happens is your neocortex took a decision. Okay, man, I want to do this goal. It's just very excited about doing those things. Okay, then it goes to the mammalian brain. Okay, please now give me some dose, dopamine, oxytocin, and all those hormones, so that I want to take action. For the first 7-10 days, mother also says, okay, go for it. It's good. It's good. Go for it. Then it releases 7 to 10 days. You're very motivated. You take a lot of action during those 7-10 days. But what happens is after some time, the reptilian brain or the father brain actually sees, okay, what is happening between these two? What are the hormones that are taking place? It wants to protect you. Its only job is to protect you. And it sees that if you take action without thinking, you will be in a lot of trouble, either physically, mentally, anyways. There will be a lot of rejections, a lot of things. So what does reptilian brain do? It goes to the mammalian brain and says, why are you giving him so much of those hormones? Don't you know it's our job to protect him? He's a new child. He will do something wrong and then he'll suffer in the long term. Don't do this. Then the mammalian brain also gets actually okay tense कि okay shit मैं कुछ गलत तो नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे ये मेरा बच्चा है इसको कुछ बीमार हो गया ये हो गया. Then what happens is rather than releasing those hormones, the happy hormones, it starts releasing the stress hormones, the hormones of cortisol, the hormones of uh, adrenaline. So what happens is it starts actually the stress cycle again starts to begin. And again, as you know, as the stress experiences begin, and we will discuss this in the next anxiety video as well, when you start reacting to things, it just happens, it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and it's very difficult to then let go. And it's a very addictive chemicals, and we'll discover that in the next video as well. So what's the solution for this brain, one brain going in this direction, other brain going in this direction? So what's the solution for this? The solution for achieving all your goals or for setting up all your goals is both brains have to be in harmony. It's like if you're in a chariot, one horse is running in this direction, one horse is running in this direction, what will end up happening is the chariot will break. But if they both are moving in the same direction, the chariot will be moving slowly and very, very quickly it will pick up the speed and go ahead. So that is what the model of your brain is. That's how your brain works. And that's how you need to be thinking about, and you need to be conscious about all of these things. See, I cannot cover all of these things. How does these things work and how do these things go? But I've tried to cover the basics so that we understand how does the mind work and how we can actually slowly start reprogramming our mind. In the next video, I'll be giving you some practical aspects as well, how you can start observing these things practically in your life and how you can move ahead during that. But our videos are never completed without the action steps. So the action step for this video is start being more conscious of the things that you're reacting to without thinking. A lot of things happen in our life, we just react to without thinking. And it's very important that you start becoming conscious of how you're reacting to things and become conscious of the three parts of the mind. And how do these actions take place and how do other things working on? So I think that's very important for you to realize this. And again, before ending this video, I really want to thank you guys and acknowledge you guys. It's not a small thing that you guys are here and you're listening to this whole video. And it takes time. Sometimes, we compare ourselves. A lot of things happen. And I seriously, really, from the deepest core of my heart, want to acknowledge you and want to thank you. I want to honor your struggles for being here, for whatever you're going through. Everything will pass through. So I just hope in that wish, I would like to end this video. And if you have liked the video, please do share it with your friends. Would love to reach to more people. And do let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts and like the video. Thank you so much, guys. Wishing you best of luck on your journey ahead. And thank you so much.